computer because I know how to upload that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I know how to use it on the computer, like, or do YouTube. I don't know how to do it, the whole cloud thing.
For sure. Well, we're recording now.
Okay.
Sweet. Assigned topic was over here. We had see. Our assigned topic was give an example of a contract being assigned or delegated.
So when I did the example, the only thing that I could think of as far as like assigning or delegating an example was like a sports contract. So like a professional, either football player, hockey player. So for the assignment, I had found out that some guy got re-signed with one of the hockey teams that's going on. So he's getting paid. He's on a 5-year contract, and it's an $11 million per year 5-year contract. So that was my example that I had used.
My example, I found an article that talks about the city. What were they doing? I think they're building a park. And someone had warned or suggested to them to be careful about making sure that they don't delegate it too much, or else they won't be fulfilling this contract that they signed to get the funds for the park. So they had warned about making sure that they watched it more carefully and didn't delegate as much. So I guess it's not really like an example of someone delegating a contract or signing a contract, but I guess it's someone advising against assigning or delegating a contract.
Gotcha. I just made one up. I was basically said, I have a current contract to do business. At the end of the deal or the contract, I'll receive payment. I have a brother that's struggling for money, so I can assign the payments to go to him for the contract at the end of it. So then, anyway, yeah, so I assign the money, the payments to go to him to fulfill the contract.
Okay. Hi, Leonardo.
Hello.
What about you, Leonardo? Do you have an example of the topic this week? Of a contract being assigned or delegated?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an example of the topic that we have this week of a contract being assigned or delegated?
Oh, I'm sorry. Something's happening with my computer. I can hear you very well. You said that if I have any question about anything?
Yeah, do you have any questions?
Okay. Well, I kind of understand what is the concept about assignment of rights or assignment of contract, but I didn't understand very well the assignment of delegating or delegating, sorry. I didn't understand that very well.
Of delegating, the difference between assigning and delegating.
Yeah.
Delegating, from my understanding, is just basically you're delegating responsibilities of the contract to someone else to fulfill the contract. So I have a contract with Alexis to build a house. I can then hire some subcontractors to fulfill the responsibility to build the house, basically, and delegate the performances to her or to subcontractors.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And also I heard,
Go ahead.
yeah. Also, I read something about delegation of duties that, well, this cannot be possible if someone wants to delegate a performance. For example, let's say that, I don't know, that you're going to hire someone to perform at a party or something. So let's say that probably you're paying for an artist, but this artist cannot delegate basically this contract to a different artist or something. I don't know if that is an example about that, but I don't know if that is an exception about this concept.
So you said that the artist has a contract to, like, say, paint a painting, and you're saying that that artist is not able to delegate that to someone else or assign that to somebody else.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean, that
that
would make
possible
sense.
or?
So what do we want to use for our example for um, the the assignment template? Do we just want to pick one of the articles you guys found then and go with that, or what?
We can go with whatever. I like all. I think all of them are actually pretty good examples. Does anyone have a specific opinion?
I guess we just decide. Do we want an example of it being assigned, or example of the contract being delegated? And then let's just go with one.
Do we have examples of both then?
My example is like basically someone, or you can assign a contract. But I don't know if you guys had a good example of a contract being delegated.
Oh, mine's not really an example of a contract being delegated. Mine was more of like an example of them recommending not to delegate.
Okay.
So I don't know that would be a good. Mine would be a good example for it. We could use yours, Michael, if you want to.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Let me, 1 second here. I'll type it up and email it to you real quick.
Okay, or you could just send it in the chat in the recording.
That is true as well.
I'm gonna be right back.
Put it in the chat. So for the explanation, sorry. For the explanation of our example, you put like an example, Chuck assigned the benefits of the contract to go to his brother, even though he was the one that fulfilled all requirements of the contract or something like that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Something pretty simple like that. Yeah, so an assignment, the rights or benefits of the contract are assigned to another party. So I could
Okay, so
like,
I said,
so in this, benefits of the contract are assigned to Todd, but I still have the right to fulfill the contract.
okay, so this is what I said.
Yeah, go for it.
Since Todd isn't the one in the contract, Chuck, who is responsible for fulfilling the contract, that assigns the benefits of the contract to go to Todd.
Yes, correct.
We can use, and what would be our quiz question?
Let me see here. Base it off of the example, you do something like, you say something like, how would, like in this example, it's like, example, how would Chuck delegate the contract to Todd? Something kind of like on the opposite end. Oh, never mind. 1 second.
Okay, so how would Chuck delegate the contract to Todd?
Yeah, something along those lines, right? You could ask. How, how would Chuck delegate the contract to Todd?
Okay, and the correct answer could be
Could be-
to
Transfer responsibility for performing contractual duty. And then correct answer feedback. Is
Okay, so what I said for correct answer feedback, I said delegating is making someone else or transferring the duties of a contract to another party.
cool.
Making someone else responsible.
Yeah, for contractual duty.
Or, yeah, delegating is making someone else responsible or transferring responsible for or transferring
Responsibilities and
the
authority.
duties of a contract to another party.
Yeah, it's the responsibility and authority of the contract
Responsibility.
for a particular contractual duty. So in this case, it'd be Chuck would delegate the advertising performance to Todd. And, kind of authority to carry out the duty. But Chuck would still be responsible to make sure it got fulfilled. Pretty sure.
Okay, what are some wrong answers? I could say Chuck.
If Chuck even like sells the contract, like something that having to do with like selling the contract to someone else, maybe that might work.
Yeah, you do something like that, then that would be good.
So this is an example of a delegated contract, right?
So this example, we have an example of a signed contract, but we're trying to figure out some basically because the question is about sorry, I'm trying to put a band-aid back on my kid. The question we have is about how would Chuck delegate the or the contract to Todd?
Okay.
What does it mean, or basically what? Well, yeah, go to your mom, bud.
Okay, so what I said is Chuck has Todd buy the contract from him for a reasonable price. And then I'm just going to copy and paste the feedback.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, we need what? 2 more wrong answers.
Okay.
We could say
What's our quiz question again? Can you read that back real quick?
quiz question is, how would Chuck delegate the contract to Todd?
So we have the right answer, but then the wrong answer we have first is basically selling the contract to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that be. Leave it be.
We could say that Chuck gives the paperwork to Todd to hold on to, or whatever, the contract paper.
That'd be something like you said, just Chuck hands over, or Chuck gives him the contract, or hands over the paperwork of the contract. Leave your finger be.
Ow. Ow. Okay. Yeah.
We need one more.
Freak. Let me see here. Wrong answer, 3 feedback. You can make something up like having the basically having a judge transfer or having a judge transfer responsibility to Todd.
Well, isn't that a way, like, isn't that like an official
I
way?
don't think a judge could I mean, maybe, but I doubt. I wouldn't. I could just say if it's my contract, I have legal rights over that. So I wouldn't include a judge to delegate or assign responsibility. But you don't have to put that one's not that good. I was just brainstorming. Sorry. I guess you could have a judge technically, but
Well, if somebody were to take somebody to court, I mean,
if you had like
technically a judge
or
could say that.
something,
Yeah.
or something, right? Force you to fulfill it. But anyway, stop.
We could have like a neighbor, Judy, tell Todd that he's now responsible for the contract.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like a telephone game. Chuck talks to Judy, telling her that he wanted to have Todd do the work, and then Judy says that, or tells Todd that he's now responsible for it, which isn't official.
You could even have something kind of like that where the local business asked Todd to fulfill the contract when in reality it needs to be Chuck that delegates responsibility to Chuck. Or I mean, Todd, or Chuck delegates responsibility to Todd.
Okay, so I said the local business talks to Todd about fulfilling the duties of the contract instead of Chuck.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have everything ready except for the link then.
Okay. Yeah, once we're done, let's finish up here, then I'll upload it and whatever, I guess, and then I'll email that to you just in our group email thread.
Okay.
Sweet.
Does anybody have any other questions about the week's assignments at all?
Mm.
No, I think I'm good. Cool. I'll go ahead and end the recording then.
Okay.